Hey everybody, my name is Mark Mongiardo. My body makes alcohol. I'm here to raise awareness for auto-brewery syndrome. Auto-brewery syndrome, it's a rare condition where my body produces its own alcohol from carbohydrates and sugar. Please help me spread awareness for this disorder so nobody has to go through what I went through. I'm at zeros today. The other day, my last video, I posted a video, answered some questions, and I started to finish the video. I was talking about my 2 DWIs, and I kind of rushed through the end of it. My first one, like I said, I took an athletic director job after a 13-year career as a physical education teacher and coach. I was very uncomfortable in my school district after many, many years of people smelling alcohol on me as a physical education teacher, as the varsity baseball coach, as a coach in the basketball program. It was very uncomfortable for me. So I took an athletic director job about 90 miles away from home, and I wanted to continue my educational career. 3 weeks into my new position as a physical education teacher, I had 2 classes in the middle school, 1 in the high school, and I was the director of physical education, health, and athletic director. I was coming back from a gathering with some friends, and I did mention this in my last video. I was a social drinker. I did drink a lot that weekend, all weekend long, but I did go to bed at midnight, and I was pulled over 14 hours later by a state trooper in New York, and my blood alcohol content was a 0.18. I told the officer I went to bed at midnight. I did drink the night prior, that I hadn't been drinking throughout the day, and he asked me, he said, "Do you have GERD, which is gastro reflux?" He said that would be the only reason why your blood alcohol content would be a 0.18 14 hours later. I said no. Now, I was diagnosed with this about a month later. I had no idea I had it, but not only was my body producing alcohol, so I was drinking alcohol at the time, consuming alcohol, my body was producing alcohol, and my body was also refluxing it. So I have GERD and I have Barrett's esophagus, so it was refluxing, and Barrett's esophagus exacerbates it. So throughout the day, it just kept refluxing the alcohol, as well as producing my own alcohol. So 0.18, 14 hours later, I was diagnosed with auto-brewery syndrome, but I did not know it at the time. While I was fighting this DWI, I ended up taking a plea, lost my license for 6 months. I just thought it was me. I thought I drank too much throughout the weekend. I didn't really understand why my blood alcohol content was so high. Nobody else did either. So I did take the plea at that moment, and that was in August 2018. In May 2019, I was at that golf match I talked about as the athletic director. I bought both teams hot dog, french fry, soft drink. I was pulled over, leaving. I called the vice president of the Board of Education. Her daughter was being bullied. I wanted to help her out, and I was pulled over for hands-free. Again, it was somewhere around a 0.18. And that was the one where I had no answers. I had been working all day as a teacher, athletic director, and left the golf match and was pulled over. My BAC was a 0.18. And that's when my aunt and my mother started researching, can your body produce alcohol? They found these answers. They found Dr. Wick in Staten Island, and from there is when I decided to see him, get diagnosed, and I was. The glucose challenge test is something that I've been asked about a few times, and I want to answer a few more questions. How was I diagnosed? Glucose challenge test. It's in a controlled setting, and it's used to test how your body reacts to sugar. So they put a an IV in and a PICC line in my arm, and they test my breath and my blood. It was zeros. I was in the hospital room. And then every 30 minutes, they gave me the glucose challenge test. And every hour for 4 hours, they test my breath and my blood. Within 30 minutes, my BAC was, I think it was a 0.09. Then it went to a 0.14. But that's how I was diagnosed, was the glucose challenge test. Another question I've been asked a lot is, do I have an attorney to go back and fight for my educational career, go after the first DWI where I pled? No. When the grand jury was dismissed, and remember what I said, it was a speedy trial clock. It wasn't dismissed because I had auto-brewery syndrome. The courts kept opening and closing for COVID. When I finally had the grand jury indictments dismissed, I was just so exhausted, mentally, physically, from fighting the legal battle. 3 years, thinking I was going to prison, and I was going to be away from my family, obviously, which I was anyway, but to go to prison, that stress level, I just wanted to move on with my life, just have a normal life, and I never went back to fight for my educational career or that first DWI. Another question that I've seen pop up, does yeast make alcohol? ABS is caused by an overgrowth of certain yeast or bacteria in the gastrointestinal tract, which ferment carbohydrates into ethanol or alcohol. So yes, it does. Another question I keep getting asked is, did it happen all at once or was it gradual? For me, I believe it was, I guess, a combination of both. I don't know when it began, but I did start my career in education in 2005. 2006, I was the JV basketball coach, and that's the first time when somebody said they spilled alcohol on me. Some other questions that I've been asked, I just wanted to go through some of the most common ones. I talked about how I lost my family the last times. I keep getting the same question, do I feel the effects of alcohol? Yes, I do. I look and feel, and I have the same traits as someone that is under the influence of alcohol, that is intoxicated. Meal plans I keep getting asked about. I'm going to keep sending the meal prep ideas, and obviously my wife Gina, what she cooks for me. But meats, proteins, chickens, fishes, not all fruits and vegetables. I did send out the FODMAP. Grapes, blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, I haven't had issues with. But those are some of the most common questions. I just wanted to touch on a few. Just remember to go to auto-brewery.org for more information on this devastating disorder, so nobody has to go through what I went through. And please keep spreading the awareness. Thank you very much. Keep reposting, liking. I've been trying to get to all the comments. I'm about a couple days behind on the comments. I want to keep answering the questions that you have. So keep sending those comments and questions, and I'll try to answer them either individually on the thread, or I'll jump on here and I'll post a video on those. Everybody have a great weekend, and thank you very much.